I often get questions from shop service writers or shop owners where they're struggling with their current software, or they have paper or QuickBooks or some sort of system in place where they're trying to keep track of all of these service orders. And the larger the shop, the more complicated this gets. So if you're not using software, that's the first thing you need to invest in is software. So with that said, now we start to get into the complexity of, well, how many orders do I have? What stage are they in? What life cycle? And what's the priority? Which one's supposed to be done first? And which one of my techs is on which order? If you don't have software or software like Fullbay, we organize and put that in what I call a life cycle. Every service order goes through a journey or a life cycle. So with service orders, we create the order, we at some point have to assign a technician. Through that process, they're diagnosing. I want to know when my techs are diagnosing things. They need parts. I want to know when the parts team is holding my techs up, because I got to keep them moving forward. All of these things should be visible in the form of a life cycle for you to maximize your techs and maximize the workflow in your shop. Now, when we get to prioritization and trying to call out things that are important, normally you're walking out to the shop, tapping somebody on the shoulder and saying, that's the owner's truck, make sure that's done first. With Fullbay, we'll let you highlight. You can even customize the colors and what they mean. So you can highlight service orders to have certain orders more pervasive. Maybe you put a color on a service order to say that person's what we call a waiter. That means they're waiting in the lobby for this vehicle. You can even prioritize. We have a very easy drag and drop feature where I can drag a service order, put them into a sequence, and let the techs know this is the #1 service order, this is the #2 and the #3. And what's really nice is that transcends through the shop. With those service writer tools, if I organize the workflow for the technicians, all of that information passes over to the parts team. So the parts team knows which parts should I price first? Well, there's a priority to those. And then when I get to the office, which invoice people are waiting for, they can also see those same things. Who's waiting in the lobby versus what's the most important service order. So organizing your workflow with software is key, and having it in the format of a life cycle is critical for service writing. One other tip with service writing, every time we write a service order, the first thing we're thinking about is what was the last thing we worked on with that particular vehicle. So your software, you should have some sort of tools where you can see repair history from previous repairs that were done, maybe even pending repairs. So you did an oil change and you found a minor oil leak. When you go to write the next service order up and it's for a front end alignment, you should have some sort of quick tool where you can look at the vehicle and see when was the last time that was repaired and what the repair was. Was there anything that was declined? With our software, you can do that. You can see pending repairs, you can see previous repairs, and you can bring those pending repairs and resurrect them from declined service orders. And if you're not managing your work orders in a life cycle, you're probably holding a tiger by the tail and struggling with a lot of paperwork.